I'd really been thinking for a long time that every moment is that great test of your practice, just like a grading is in martial arts. Especially since starting this Nobbs Suzuki Praxis, it really has become that so much. That's what that is. It's very apparent, it's very clear that every moment is the great test. I was just listening to the weekly Paleo report by Kai Pacha, which this week was particularly, it's always particularly pertinent for me. But this one's particularly powerful because he's just gone and done a silent Zazen retreat, which basically will take you to the same place as a silent Vipassana retreat will. Even if there's, I don't really know what that is, what the differences are. As far as I know, it's basically the same thing, just a different lineage of someone who was taught from what all traces back to the Buddha, anyway. But this practice, and I'm not going to quote him directly, whatever this quote was. But you can look it up in the Paleo report, the 23rd November. The practice is not a preparation for something that is going to come and be a test at a particular point in time, as an event or anything, or as a test that's going to come. Like the storm, you're not preparing for the storm to come so that you can deal with the storm when it comes. It's like your practice is that thing that is intrinsically walking that storm of everything all the time. And if you're close enough to yourself, that's a storm that you're always walking all the time, with a certain degree of consistency, with a certain degree of predictability, or a certain degree of steadiness, that it's not going to be too much or too intense or too overwhelming. It's not going to throw you off the rails too much. If you have the things in life that really get you and throw you, and we all have them as what we're here for, there's a large degree of being a human being. But if you don't have a practice, if you don't have something that anchors you here and gives you a framework and containment, for lack of a better word, so that you get to have a look at yourself and you get to know yourself, you get to be close to yourself, and you get to express yourself with a free, flamboyant creativity, however you wish to do that. If you don't have something that you're doing for yourself that is really making you look at yourself and see yourself and feel yourself and question yourself and understand yourself and feel close to yourself, then those storms will come and you'll be preparing for the storm. And then the storm will come and it'll be a category 5 storm every time, one after another, and it'll devastate for a week and a half, because it's not been engaged with for the rest of the time. So when it builds up and the friction and the centrifugal forces of life build up to such a point that one is incapable of being in one's heart, because all the centrifugal forces drawing one out into the wheel of life, and the wheel of karma, the wheel of cause and effect. Therefore, everyone else that one's interacting with is going to be in that same resonance, in that same state, the same kind of oscillation. And it's going to be disharmony, chaos. But if one is close to oneself, if one is looking at oneself, and I feel the creative part of it is ultra important, and it's one of the most important, and it comes into purpose and why do you get out of bed, and what does your heart beat from one beat to the next for. If you get about 1 billion heartbeats, then which one of them is the most important out of all of those billion? There's no heartbeat that's more important than any other heartbeat, is there? And so what is it that makes your heart beat from one beat to the next and keep you living, keep you going, keep you inspired, keep you motivated, keep you driven, keep you alive? What is that? So, there's been a certain peace that I've been feeling this week and these last few days, and since I've started this training, there's been a certain peace that I've been feeling, and I feel it even more this week. So it's really a comprehensive container to be able to commit oneself totally in the moment to a practice, to an exercise, to a task, to a reason, to a purpose, to something. And then out of the void and that emptiness and the paradox and the busyness, the total engaging and tying up and overloading of the senses and the nervous system and the mental constructs that think that they have control over the nervous system and over the self and over one's sense of being and all of this kind of stuff. It allows for something to come from much deeper, that is formless, but then is entirely structured and powerful from everything that is who I am at that point in my life. So I think that's pretty valuable. And I kind of feel a kind of sadness or a sorrow. This is a planet of sorrow, apparently. Other planets look at us and go, this is a planet of sorrow. And I do kind of feel this sadness and sorrow for the rest of the world that just doesn't have this. Where I think culturally we would have had this. When at the times it takes a village to raise a child, then there would have been this kind of thing there in pretty much every culture in some way. Enough, so it's like there's a bit of a sadness that's been lost. And that being said, there's incredible gratitude and wonder and appreciation for what John has created here, what he has invented. And Jackie and this Suzuki guy, whoever he is and whatever he's done, is just like this stuff is fantastically, it's like Leonardo da Vinci kind of sophistication, you know what I'm saying? And it's real here in real time, modern. I mean, these guys are geniuses. They're geniuses. And they've got a look in their eye. You see that look in their eye? I recognize mystic. They're mystics. Yeah. It's pretty special stuff. Anyway, that's enough for now. Uru.